For the driver, okay? There's a couple of things that we're gonna do here, and it's really gonna be about moving the body and moving it well, all right? So the first thing that we're gonna do, it's gonna seem really, really silly, all right, is we're just gonna take it in the lead hand and we're gonna start to feel some momentum, all right? We're just gonna be swinging the club, shifting weight to the back foot, and then shifting it to the front foot. All right, the most important thing I want you to start feeling in this particular rhythm exercise, all right, is two things. You want to almost feel like we're pushing the club head out in front of you. We're not really swinging down on the ground. We're making sure it comes behind you here, out in front of you here, and then back around you in here. If I seem a little bit restricted, it is because I have like little to no room to work with when I don't almost ever swing my driver inside our garage. But you really want to feel like we're coming out behind you, out in front of you, and then out and back and around you again. So that's one thing to focus on in this drill. And then the second thing, all right, is to make sure, again, we are turning the hips backwards and then turning the hips forward, all right? The big key that I think for you is gonna increase your swing speed is understanding when to start shifting that momentum. What I want you to feel, we talked about the club path already, what I want you to feel is when the club path gets to the point that is like as far away behind you as you can, all right? That moment is when I want you to shift your weight to that front side to start initiating this swing. We should really feel like we are putting like 60 to 70% of our weight transferred back into that front foot. As we start to bring the club out in front of us, we should feel like we're almost putting all of the weight on this front leg when it is straight out in front of us, and then really kind of turning through, pivoting on that back foot, all right, to get the momentum to, and that's exactly why I don't swing my driver in here, nick the ceiling, but by the time it gets out here in front of us to the right, we should be up onto our toe here, all right? Common misconception when we're hitting our driver is that we can't move the weight forward because you're like, oh, you gotta hang back. Like, yes and no, the head has to stay back, but there is definitely weight transfer happening to this front foot here still when we're hitting our drives, all right? But we wanna make sure we get this momentum here going. So you're gonna see, as I get to my backswing, I started by pushing down into that lead leg to get that to come around, right? We're pushing down into that lead leg, getting it to come around, and that happens, again, at the top of the backswing here. We're shifting that weight down, and you can even exaggerate it if you want to. If you're inside, keep your club head cover on, just to make sure you don't skim the ground, whatever it is. But that's what we're looking for. So once you do a few like this, we get a comfortable rhythm set here, where we're feeling like we're loading into that front foot before all of that starts to come down. Strongly exaggerate all of that. We're gonna put two hands on it, do the same thing. We're coming back, loading into that front leg, and then coming around with the club. Back here, feel free to be a little bit more free and sway a little bit more in this. Really feel like we're swaying, we're opening up the hips back, swaying and moving the hips forward. I'd rather you sway too much right now than not enough, all right? So we're here, we're shifting weight, and then we're coming through with the club. Here, back all the way here, so we're rotating, weight's back on this back foot, we're pushing down into this front leg, and then we're starting that rotation, all right? This is just purely a rhythm drill at this point of initiating the right sequence of how we're gonna shift that weight onto that front foot. I wanna make sure every single time you do one of these rhythm swings, we're ending up on the front foot, okay? Really exaggerate ending up on that front foot. We never, at this point right now, I do not want you to feel like we're doing any of this, all right? We're not leaning back. We're making sure that everything, once we hit this point back here, all of that initiation is pushing into that front leg, and then we're swinging through, letting that momentum carry through, all right? That's it for driver for now.